Good afternoon. Welcome to the August 10th, 2016 Legal and Finance meeting. And we'll have roll call and determination of quorum.
Robert?
Here.
Wright?
Here.
Scott? Here.
We'll have the adoption of the agenda. Is there anything that anybody wants to add?
Move to adopt the agenda.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Passes. Now we're at general public comment. And I see I have one general public comment item from Dennis Halterman. Dennis, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. I'll be very brief. Dennis Halterman, 1925 Peace Path. I just wanted to come and make a continued record of our continued objection to the Dove Center's violation of its conditional use permit. Of course, the legal remedy for the violation of a conditional use permit is revocation of same, and we had a meeting with the mayor this morning to discuss that and the parameters surrounding it. So I'm going to leave it up to the mayor later to give the specifics of that discussion to the council, this committee, as well as the whole council. But I just wanted to come and make a record of that. You know, our concern is that Dove and Mr. Stewin is going to continue without some kind of city interdiction at this point in time. The problem is only going to escalate and get worse to the detriment of our entire community. So I just came here to make my record about that, and I'll leave the mayor to fill you in the specifics. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Halterman. Now we're on public comment for consent items 1 through 10. I don't have any. It doesn't look like there's anybody in the audience. So I will close that. And now we are on consent items 1 through 10. Would anyone on the dais like to remove anything 1 through 10? Steve Lorente.
Item 10, please. Thank you.
And Alderman Wright.
3.
Thank you. So I would like a motion for the remaining items. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Items pass. Now on to item 3 from the Finance Department, number LF081016-02, acknowledge May 2016 sales tax report. Mr. Wright, you have the floor.
Thank you. I just wanted to put in a general comment that we often say we're growing, which we are in revenue, dollar-wise, but I also want to be cautious on how we analyze that and the fact that our expenses have probably gone up due to inflation. That's the theory behind that, and that inflationary costs are what also drive up the sales tax revenue. So it's not a pure growth, and we need to watch that as we do our budgeting and financing. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor? All opposed? Item passes. Now item 10 under the City Attorney's Office. Number LF081016-03, authorize Mayor and Finance Officer to sign assignment for Tax Increment District 76, Buffalo Crossing between KS West LLC and SK East LLC and First National Bank. Okay.
Motion approved.
Do you want to speak, Ms. Scott? Go ahead. You have the floor.
Thank you. So I appreciate Alderman Lorente pulling this because I was going to pull it and vote no on it. And yet the city attorney corrected me when I had a question on this. The reason I was going to vote no is that there is an underlying issue, since these are two overlying TIDs, with the original TID of 70. The city attorney corrected me, and as long as his opinion hasn't changed, he said this is a normal part of the tax increment financing because the developer's agreement with the city specifies that the city will sign and stipulate that the bank can be paid direct, and really that's all this is doing. So originally I was going to vote no on this because there's some underlying or extraneous conditions that are still being worked through out there with the overlying districts, but with the city attorney's explanation of that, I guess I will be voting to approve this because it's just a form of doing business at this time, and it follows the developers agreement. So, thank you.
Thank you. We have a motion, but we don't have a second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. That's the end of the consent calendar. Now we'll go on to the non-consent items, items 11 through 13. I will open public comment. Doesn't look like we have any, so I will close public comment. And we'll go on to mayor's items, item 11, number LF 081016-10, approve resolution number 2016-059, extending an offer with a limited election window to eligible employees to elect a voluntary early retirement incentive. And we will first go to Alderwoman Scott.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to send this to council without recommendation. If I can get a second, I'll explain why. Thank you. The reason I'm making the recommendation to send this to council without recommendation is the mayor obviously is not with us today, and when I questioned him if he would be available at Legal and Finance, he preferred to address the whole council. So I'm making the motion to send this to council so the mayor can present Monday night. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Lorente, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to add to that there were quite a few things from last night, and this is one of them that was presented along with the mayor's budget. And I just want to make sure that the people out there, the taxpayers, know that myself and many people on the council will be wanting to see the data that supports this particular item that was brought forward by the mayor. So I'm hoping that we will have the data that will support this particular agenda item for Monday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lorente. We have a motion, so all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Item 12, City Attorney's Office number LF 060116-10A, second reading and recommendation of ordinance number 6122, an ordinance adopting section 8.16.090 of the Rapid City Municipal Code requiring registration of vacant residential properties.
Second.
And I have no one speaking, so all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. 13, number LF 081016-11, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 6141, an ordinance to update the regulations related to purchases made by department directors by amending section 3.04.030 of the Rapid City Municipal Code. And Alderwoman Scott, you have the floor.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve, and if I can get a second. Thank you. I'd like to retain the floor. May I ask the city attorney a question for clarification?
Yes, you may.
Thank you, Chair. Joel, so at agenda review, it looks like the City Council has already reviewed this once, and this should be second reading, but I believe that there was a substantial change made to this between first and second, and that's why we're revisiting a first reading on this?
No. We asked about it after agenda review. It looks similar, but I think the first one was on contracts, and this is on purchases. So it's similar, but it's a different ordinance that was being amended. I think it was caught after the first one went forward that we needed to change this or should change this too. So the processes are similar, but they're actually in two different ordinances.
All right, so then for clarification, this rewrites for purchases now, but the language in it just specifies that the City of Rapid City will follow what is enacted at the state level.
Yes and no. I mean, what it says is it sets the limits at bid law, but what tends to happen is bid law updates and then it doesn't necessarily translate to the ordinance. So it just sets the limits for the authority at whatever the limit in state bid law is. So instead of referencing a specific number, it just sets it at the number established in state law.
Okay, and thank you, but that's what I was asking. So we're not defining an upper limit. It's whatever is set by the state law at that time. So as the state law changes the Rapid City, this ordinance automatically adjusts to what the state has enacted.
Correct. The authority for purchases would change then as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Wright, you have the floor.
To clarify, Joel, that's for purchases and contracts, both? But contracts will still have to come to council, correct?
Well, no, certain contracts under the bid amount don't need to come as long as they're budgeted. If there's money in the budget for them, the department director or the mayor can enter into the contracts. That's been delegated to department directors for a
Okay,
long
all right,
time.
thank you.
And that isn't done in this ordinance. That was the previous ordinance that you already approved. Was contracts.
No one else is speaking, so all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn?
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Oh, Jerry wants to stay.
Jerry wants to say.
Thank you very much.